Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as was the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I do want to go over a lot of things around the SEC because of course you guys are already aware that we got the appeal, right? So as we do look at that, I want to go over a few things. And the first thing is I want to go over the corruption and also the absolute despicable actions that the SEC has been taking against the retail sector that they are supposed to be protecting. So first off, I want to start off with this tweet here from JV the Great. We do see the fact that Hinman was having active communications with Ethereum's promoter, but still gave a speech saying that he sees no promoter is extremely damning. Will he be held accountable? And yes, Empower Oversight did release 4 emails. This is one of 4 emails. We do see the meeting materials from Consensus. This is him talking about the meeting with, of course, the SEC staff with Ethereum. And there's a few things within this. Here's exploring tokens that may not be securities, a full breakdown of it. And then also over here, we do see Hinman William. This is William Hinman meeting with the SEC staff. You can see the attachments down here. You could read all through this. All of these emails are extremely damning. And down here, we also have more emails. All of these are bunched together. You guys can go and read all of them. But you can see that he's literally talking to Joseph Lubin. And it's interesting. It's interesting because for the longest time, the XRP community has been laughed at and everyone's like, oh, there's no corruption here. Why do you guys hate on Ethereum? Why do you guys target Ethereum? It's because of ETHgate. It's real. And here we have, thanks Joe, moving you to BCC. And this is all, again, like this is all through Ethereum with William Hinman. We do see down here, like meeting was to learn more about the Ethereum support network. Would leave it up to whom from your group to invite. Joseph Lubin, here you guys have him down at the bottom as well. Over here, Matt Corva at Consensus called about my inquiry to Joe Lubin to help arrange a discussion with Buterin. And here we have how neatly these emails between Hinman and Joe Lubin and other Consensus executives fit into the what happened period of time. Strange how that worked. SEC Gov, you know you've got some compensation to pay out, right? And here we have from Jimmy Valley, and we do see down here, and now we're starting to understand what happened during the critical time leading up to the speech, collusion. And here we have what happened? Well, here you guys have the full breakdown. We even see here, so this is Perkins Coy, sends Bill Hinman the memo and safe harbor proposal. The only crypto asset mentioned in the safe harbor is Ethereum. The SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce would later call for a safe harbor to apply for a 3-year period for all new digital asset projects. Ethereum or Ether investors meet secretly with Bill Hinman asking for a regulatory free pass from the SEC. The meeting is leaked, and Nathaniel Popper reports Ether investors seek a non-security designation from the SEC. Gary Gensler comments that Ripple, Ethereum, and crypto need more regulatory clarity. The SEC meets again with Joe Lubin and Consensus. What happened? We have no idea, because down here, we see time period during which the SEC was intentionally reviewing, revising, and approving Hinman Ethereum free speech. Again, we already know that Hinman gave Ethereum the free pass, but this was something that everyone was saying didn't happen. Oh, you know, the XRP community, they're just a bunch of clowns. They're, you know, conspiracy theories. They're tinfoil hat wearers. Well, now we have full-on confirmation here. We even see up here, like, there are 3 people I know of who did interviews openly bragging about shorting XRP. And you can see all of the players here. And we see up here, I think it is entirely appropriate to ask if any of these 3 were being fed information by anyone in the secret closed door SEC meetings that would eventually result in the Ethereum free pass Hinman speech. And this is from Digital Asset Buy. Now also, from Utility Theory, here we have connections of ETHgate that deserve to be investigated, live interactive map that showcases how tangled this web of corruption is. And yeah, there's a full interactive map of this, and you can see all of, I mean, like, you can see all of the money here. You can see all of the money from Simpson Thatcher. You could see, you know, there's so much money being thrown around to these individuals. You could tell that they're getting paid off. They're getting bought. It's the #1 reason why Gary Gensler himself has over $100 million in net worth. Oh, but he's protecting the retail sector because he wants you and me and everyone else to be safe. That's not why. Listen, this game that they're trying to play, that they're protecting us, is nonsense. Also, Just remember that PayPal launched a stablecoin. What did they launch it on? Oh yeah, that's right, Ethereum. Shout out to Mr. Huber for this, but DC, just in case you're wondering why PayPal used Ethereum for their stablecoin, look at the bottom down here. As PayPal's house bank, I know that you guys might not be able to see it, but as PayPal's house bank, JP Morgan was asked to help with the integration of newly acquired company Zettle within the wider PayPal group treasury structure. So again, all of this is focused on Ethereum, making Ethereum the dominant one to go through. This is all garbage, right? Like I've talked about it. Ethereum is trash in terms of, you know, financial transactions, financial use cases. We know that the gas fees are ridiculous. We know that's not Ethereum. They're trying to blind the public through things like this. JP Morgan has always hated on Ripple. We know that as well. There is so much corruption around the Ethereum side of things. It's the number one reason why I just can't get behind it. I just can't get behind it, and I'm fine missing out on Ethereum. I don't really care about it, and I'm not here to, you know, spread hate on Ethereum. I'm just saying, like, when you have this much proof that Ethereum did get the free pass, that there was a lot of collusion happening behind the scenes, this is obviously corruption as well. Like, will they ever answer for their actions? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. And we even do see down here from Tim R614. Also, that promoter had major influence on writing the speech Hinman gave. How can one person who isn't a regulator have that much sway with government officials? Lubin had direct communications with the SEC Gov at a time they weren't meeting with any other companies. Yeah, it makes you question it, right? Now, also, as we do see over here, I said, and I quote a blockchain backer because we got the appeal today from the SEC. And we do see from blockchain backer, laugh out loud. An hour later, and there is their appeal. Good, it's filed. Now we move forward. Props to the guy in the live stream who asked if this would be timed by the SEC at the lows. Nailed it. Yeah. It was perfectly announced at the lows on XRP. And I said the SEC knows what they are doing, coordinating attacks on the small guy retail sector. And if you don't believe that, go back to 2020 and look at the XRP versus any other altcoin chart. In fact, Blockchain Backer made a video a while back explaining how the SEC came in at the perfect time to suppress XRP and how we would have hit $10 plus if it wasn't for the case. Gary Gensler and his band of corrupt suits at the SEC Gov need to 100% be held accountable for their actions. You can't parade around pretending to protect retail investors when all you do is continue to break them down. $15 billion in damages were caused when they launched the lawsuit against Ripple and the XRP community. Imagine what the total amount of damages are today. Absolutely despicable. And yes, as we look at XRP, so I have Ethereum over on the left, XRP over on the right. Okay, let's go back to 2020. So here we have, you know, XRP, which, by the way, I want to show you guys something very significant here on XRP actually. So if we look at the level that it reached out to in November of 2020, it was about 80 cents. I would argue like the major resistance zone here that we actually went to was around like 63 cents. But this is also a significant level that we needed to break through in order to go to the all-time high. Right here in November of 2020, we were getting ready to go to new all-time highs. Right here. At the same time, you could see Ethereum beginning to break out. If we would have followed the rest of the market, in my opinion, XRP would have broke its recent all-time high from 2017, 2018, and it would have went on to going to double-digit figures. The comical thing about this is that nobody really cares to know this information. But if you look at this, right, like we rejected off of resistance, we would have backtested it. We would have had support at around roughly probably about 50 some cents. And then we would have continued higher. Even if we came down to about like 41 cents, like we did back in March 2021, before we ran to $2, I would have been fine with that as well. But at the same time that the market was going absolutely parabolic, look at what happened to XRP. Boom, lawsuit. At the time that Ethereum started to skyrocket to new all-time highs. Oh, but this was definitely not a coordinated attack on XRP and Ripple. It's comical that people think that this wasn't planned. Also, over here from Jeremy Hogan, so he's commenting on the appeal. What do you see? And the SEC continues making questionable decisions, requesting an interlocutory appeal. Note that it is not appealing whether XRP itself is a security, just its losses on the programmatic and individual sales issue. And down here we have from Moon Lambo, he's saying the tour is rolling on XRP. Programmatic sales is what led to XRP being a non-security and cryptocurrency exchanges relisting XRP. Isn't challenging those sales the functional equivalent of challenging the non-security status of XRP? I need an adult. And here we have from Jeremy Hogan, he's responding back and he's saying two separate issues. XRP is not a security, period. But if the SEC wins the appeal on sales, then Ripple couldn't use exchanges to facilitate sales. And the big question is, would exchanges keep XRP listed? I think yes, as long as they can verify the sales are not being made by Ripple. So listen, this is still a huge win for XRP and XRP holders. In terms of Ripple, it's questionable, right? But a lot of people have been talking a little bit more about this, and even Bill Morgan, Belisarius 2020, went over to Twitter and he said, nobody was enthusiastic about my post on what I considered was an error by Judge Torres in lumping sales to on-demand liquidity customers in with institutional sales as securities. I bet Ripple is considering an appeal on this issue. All Ripple sales after June of 2020 were to on-demand liquidity customers. That is $3 billion post-complaint since December of 2020, according to the SEC, again using Ripple's market reports against it. And the SEC is gunning for that $3 billion. I will say it again, the judges ruling on on-demand liquidity sales is a big issue for Ripple. And yeah, it is, right? Like, this is a big problem because it is $3 billion. And we do see down here, I think Ripple has to consider an appeal of this part of the Torres decision. And we did see Anderson respond back and he said, and I can't see how Ripple would lose considering there's no profit incentive from XRP price appreciation in a 3-second on-demand liquidity transfer. And yes, this is 100% proof that if they did appeal this, I believe that Ripple would win. So really, there's no loss here on Ripple's side because there really isn't any profit incentive from XRP price appreciation in that 3-second on-demand liquidity transfer, because ODL is not, and I've always said this, is not a value increase solution. It's not going to increase the value of XRP. It's going to build a floor and a stable price of XRP. Meaning, guess what? When they sell that XRP, it's not increasing in value. Nobody's making a ton of money off of that. There's no major profit. So I agree with Anderson on this. And of course, last but not least, Chad Steingraber, we do see, well, now you know it ends in Congress. And we do see this is why settlement won't happen. It's going to trial. It ends in Congress passing judgment. And I honestly think, like, this is all leading up to that 2025 timeframe with global regulations. I don't think regulations are going to come from Congress or the SEC. I think it's going to come from the FSB with the IMF, the BIS, and the G20. I've been saying this, and I've been sounding like a broken record with that. But remember, the key thing to know is that XRP itself is not a security, and it has 100% clarity. XRP is not a security. And we do see down here, this is huge in the appeal context, so long as the SEC does not attempt an interlocutory appeal or does and is denied. XRP, not a security holding, is set in stone through late 2025 at the earliest. And yes, this is key. And there it is, the SEC's letter of intent to file that appeal. Cue the circus. And yeah, this is happening, but I will say this. XRP is set in stone as not a security until 2025. It's the only asset that actually has 100% clarity. I would not phase out XRP, and I would not write XRP off as being bearish right now at all, even with this appeal. I still think that XRP does very well. So far, we have held up on the 63-cent zone, which I've been looking at and watching for a while. This is a significant support zone. I could actually move this down slightly at about like 62 cents. Like 62 cents has been the big area to hold up. We are waiting to see a big break over 66 cents to hold. Ultimately, I love that we're holding this zone. If we could continue to hold this and build out a floor, that would be great. And I do think that the next range up will be $1 plus. But I'm very bullish on XRP. And I think that, like, listen, I think I speak for everyone when I say, screw the SEC. If you agree with me, definitely hit that like button and also comment down below, like, you know, hashtag XRP Army, because, you know, together, I really do think that we can make the SEC pay for their actions, because listen, they are not protecting the retail sector. $15 billion in damages is proof of that. They let FTX just go right by, caused how much, you know, that was like $16 billion. They're well over $30+ billion in damages to the retail sector. Not to even mention, you have Luna, right? Combined with that, you have Celsius, Voyager. I mean, like, what the hell is the SEC doing? Because I have no idea. But, you know, if we look back in the past, they're getting paid off. They're getting paid off by some big players. And we all know that this is insider information. Like, we 100% need accountability here because this is ridiculous. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As up to you all, have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this video. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.